Guys, welcome. This is a 3 a.m. podcast. My name is Charlie.
My name is DJ.
My name is Sean.
We tell spooky stories. We tell scary stories. And tonight in the studio, we have with us again the beautiful, the lovely Tristan.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
What up?
Welcome back.
Tristan's back to share more stories.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're here for the stories, you want to skip the banter, don't worry. Tonight, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to start with stories. None of that stupid talking that we do, you know?
I just hate, I don't care about these guys. Who are these guys? I just want to hear the stories they have to tell.
Yeah.
Don't care about their lives. I get it. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Dude, where did we leave off last week? I remember your aunt, dude, craziest story last week is grandma passing away and her changing in the coffin, bro. I was thinking about that after we stopped.
It haunted your dreams for a couple days.
Yes. Spooky.
And then what was Mew 3?
Mew 3?
What's her name?
Mew 3?
the Pokemon they ran into in the forest.
Oh, yeah.
the legendary
Bonzo.
Pokemon. The shiny Bonzo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Bonzo with what she had like she's a model? What was she?
She was a model at the end.
She
Yes,
just got
that's right.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, so I told the one about the witch.
She's into fashion.
Yes.
Right.
So they're into,
and it was just Paris Fashion Week.
Exactly.
Okay,
I saw her on the
that's
runway.
right.
Topical, baby.
Yeah.
I saw her on the runway.
Very relevant. She's also, didn't discriminate with genders in which she haunted.
We don't discriminate either.
Very good for this day and age.
Progressive
we
entity,
needed.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then the spooky ass one where your aunt saw like those synchronized children in the river.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was
Were
creepy.
they-
The
were they
imagery of that
also
is
Bonzo?
way
Yeah.
spook.
Yep.
So family.
And it was on like the graves of the former town, right?
Yep, the abandoned village right next to their farm
And
that they didn't know about.
They were hitting the gritty,
They
right?
were hitting
on the,
the
tree.
gritty on the tree, running away,
Hell yes.
giving her the side eye, the glowing red
They
side
hit
eye.
him. They hit him with one of those. They hit him with one of those.
DJ's dancing for the listeners. He's doing TikTok trend dances right now
Nice.
for the listeners.
Also, we posted a bunch of clips from your previous episode on TikTok recently, and I just happened to hit on one as I was like, I don't know, it's like in an emotional place and kind of got me in my feels. The whole like saying goodbye to your animals, bro.
Oh,
I was like single tear, dude, saying goodbye to the cow. Made me sad.
that's like,
Bro, I
one of-
forgot how good that episode is. It's so good. I got caught like watching the clips.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't like one of those movies where the sequel is worse than the first one. I want to stay on that same level. But
Bro, you can't compare to the first one. The first
No,
one was
this
just pure
This
joy.
one's Empire Strikes Back to A New Hope because it's even better so far. So
There you go.
yeah,
they were both good. So
no, that was a good episode. I was watching those TikTok clips. I was like, I had some good stories there. They were.
Yo,
pretty
this kid's
good.
really good, bro.
Yeah, listen, sign him up. Sign him up.
Yeah.
He's got some good stuff.
All right. Well, let's get into it because we're trying to start with stories faster tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want me to continue? I can do either the Queen Mary ship first or the one about my grandpa first.
Let's do
Let's
Grandpa. Oh, shit. Let's roll
do-
for it.
okay, let's roll for it. You get a roll.
Oh, man. What an honor.
Pick your dice.
I've only heard this in the
Evens?
podcast before, never done it. So it's a
Well,
big
welcome.
moment.
Evens will be the ghost ship.
Okay.
Odds will be grandpa.
All right. There's a lot of
Let
pressure
fate
on this.
decide. Tristan is rolling a 20-sided die to determine in what order he tells his stories and the roll.
It's 15.
That's the ghost ship.
The
right?
ghost ship?
What did I say?
I can't remember. I was hoping you tried.
I was so focused on the roll that I forgot what you even said.
I'm pretty sure
Let's go-
Evens
let's
was
go Ghost
Grandpa. Evens was Grandpa,
Yeah.
so odds is Ghost Ship.
Okay,
We're all
ghost
saying
ship.
the
Yeah, we're all
thing.
saying it.
Ghost ship.
Just give him a glass of milk, Josh. It's a throwback.
Hit us.
Okay. Ghost ship story. So a little preface to this. It was back in 2018. Well, actually, Sean, you did research on Queen Mary's, right?
Little bit of
Give us a
bit of
little
research.
rundown of what you researched, and then I'll tell her story.
Okay, so what I did some research on was specifically the haunted history of the Queen Mary, and it was a cruise ship that was also at one point in time a battleship in World War II, if I'm not mistaken. And there were...
Simultaneously?
Not simultaneously.
Oh.
It got like repurposed.
Yeah, repurposed. Yeah, and
It was
now
meant
it's a hotel.
Some people like enjoying a croissant watching Hiroshima. Like
It was
that's what it sounded like to me.
They're going down the slide.
Yeah.
They're doing like
they did
the
a cannonball.
yeah, the hairy chest contest and just air raiding
in the
Tokyo.
background. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think at one point it was like repurposed and it transferred soldiers across the Atlantic.
Yeah. So not necessarily
Also, fun
battleship,
fact,
but yeah. Go ahead.
It was almost 3 times larger than the Titanic.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, crazy. Huge. It was huge.
So in its time as like a ship in the war, there were lots of people who did lose their lives, whether they saw battle and then were taken onto the ship and it was kind of used as like a medical bay. Also, I don't know if this is true, but at some point in my research on the internets, found something that said that at one point the Queen Mary hit another ship and snapped it in half.
Oh, wow.
What a bully.
I kind of know a little bit about that.
Yeah, go with that.
Karma,
then.
dude. Karma.
So, like I said, the Queen Mary became like a transport ship. So it was taking soldiers across the Atlantic. And they were very nervous because it was an easy target for submarines. So as it was going, a smaller ship would zigzag in front of it to either like deter or deflect submarines. It was some sort of tactic. But the Queen Mary was also known for being very fast. And I think they misjudged it. They zigged when they should have zagged, and it hit their own like boat and split the whole in half. Sorry. Split the whole thing in half. Bleep that, Brittany. And killed, I want to say everyone on the ship. Like it destroyed them. Blew them up.
And so like whether the ghosts come
that's like
from
a lot of deaths right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at this point in time, it's a hotel. And a lot of
the city of Long
ghosts,
Beach bought it.
Yeah. And lots of people just claim to have seen things and heard things while staying in this hotel. Some haven't been substantiated, but it's also been the subject of ghost adventures, which is totally substantiated. Our man, Zach Baggins. And many other people have claimed to see spirits and entities.
Yeah.
So that's what we got.
I do know that there's like a section in the boat. So the boat's pretty famous for being haunted. Like that's a big reason people go to it. And it has one room that's supposedly the most haunted room, which like is, I think like $500 a night because everyone wants to stay there. So if we're ever in Long Beach, we should go stay there. But they also have tours, like haunted ghost tours on there. So it's kind of an attraction. And during one of these ghost tours, I think a hot spot that they don't let people go to anymore is like the VIP indoor pool. And supposedly there's an indoor pool with like really tall walls, and it's indoors, and it was meant for the VIP back in the day. And in order to get in, you come in on a balcony, and there's 2 like really big stairs that go down and then go down again. And that's the only way you can get down there. And some of the workers have reported like coming in early, and they see a younger girl down there dressed in weird garb, like the whole thing where it's like her garb is, from the pioneer times or whatever. And they see her and they start walking down the stairs. And when they get to the bottom, they look around and she's now at the top. And there's like no way that she would have passed him. So there's just a lot of like sights and things like that passing in the halls. And it's now a paranormal hotspot owned by Long Beach. But it's a big ass boat, big ass old boat.
It's like currently docked, or do they like move around? Take you on a little trip.
It's docked.
It's docked.
It's not functioning.
Yeah.
As a moving vessel.
Not no mo. But that's just kind of some background on the Saint Mary or whatever, Queen Mary.
Queen Mary. Yeah.
None of y'all have been there.
Mm-mm.
Anyway. Okay.
Nope.
But Tristan, your aunt has?
Yeah. So she said it was in 2018. So recently.
Which is 5 years ago.
Yeah,
wow.
I guess. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. 5 years ago. So she went around Christmas time and she was with my cousins. I guess since it was Christmas time, like all the normal hotels were booked. So her cousins just picked that. And I don't want to say my aunt is like, she's smart. She's a smart woman, but I don't think she's like hip with the times and knows anything about it. She just was like, book whatever hotel. We're all going to be in the area.
She's like, is that the Queen Marriott?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the cousins were like, I mean, this is the only like reasonable priced one. Like nothing was even really available. So she said, yep, here's like the info, like for my credit card, just book this hotel. So she went into it, like everyone that was there, it was like 3 of my aunts and 2 of my cousins, and they all just went to the ship. And my aunt said she didn't even know it was a ship until the next morning because they got there
Could you imagine pulling up to that?
Well, she was like, it just looked like a giant building. And so she just didn't put 2 and 2 together that they were like on the water. So she just walked into this hotel, is literally what she thought it was, just a giant building. Didn't even know it was a ship.
Even at night, she's like, why? Why are we moving?
It was really slow earthquake.
Yeah. And I've never been on a cruise ship. I don't know about you guys. I've never been on one, so I don't know how much you can like feel the movement of the water, but I would assume you could probably feel some. I don't know.
This one's like embanked in with like rocks and cement.
Oh, okay. So then probably very minimal. That's probably why she didn't think it was a ship. So she checks.
Do you want to
in.
pull up a photo for reference? I'm so sorry. That might help.
Yeah, let's
got
pull
us.
up a photo.
Okay.
I think you should see this, like the scope of it and also how antiquated it is. Like it was pumping during World War II. So it's kind of like, and maybe if you can find like interiors too, it like seeing the halls and stuff, that would be a trip
Mind-blowing.
showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a huge trip showing up thinking that this was a hotel and then seeing this.
Yeah. Well, so she was like I said, so they rolled up. They were just visiting like the area. So, I mean, same aunt that's from Midwest. I mean, my cousins are from like Sacramento area. They didn't have any idea about this. They get there and they go to check in. It's just like a normal process. Like there's nothing unique about it. They're not doing the tours. They're not doing anything. They just walk in. This is my name. Here's my credit card information. Again, it must have been a really dark night because I was like, wouldn't you look at like the black abyss behind this building and be like, wow, shouldn't there be things behind it? But I don't know.
This is really dark.
Yeah, my aunt was just like, it just looked like a building in the dark. So it looks normal on the inside. You're pretty fancy, upper class hotel. I don't know.
I'd be like, this was cheap.
Yeah.
This has got to be haunted. That's what's going through my head.
Anyways, so she says the first thing that was weird was one of my other aunts watched like a couple and their 2 kids like walk by, and they walked down this hallway that, like Charlie was saying, it's a pretty big ship. She said it felt like the hallway went for like miles. And so they watched like this family walk by, and my other aunt, I don't know if it's like typical Asian tourist, but like just follows them because she's like, oh, the daughters look so cute. So she like just starts following the family. But she said the family didn't like even acknowledge like that she was following. And I was like, I don't know, now that Charlie's a dad, I mean, it would be weird, right? If you were walking with your kid and then some Asian lady just started following you, you'd probably like acknowledge that. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I would throw down immediately. No questions asked.
Charlie's all like,
I would claw.
yeah, Charlie's all like this. This karate hands up.
Yeah.
So
I would start doing a form.
yeah.
First open hands, I come. Anyway.
So that was like the first weird thing. She said my one aunt followed them down the hallway, but like no acknowledgement, no nothing. And then just like went their way. And so they're like,
bro, they probably thought she was a ghost.
They're like, don't look at it. Don't acknowledge it.
don't acknowledge
Yes. They're all, this boat killed some Asians, bro.
It's coming back to haunt us. Holy smokes.
So
Holy smokes.
they check in.
Holy smoked. Sorry.
You're good. They check in, and again, they didn't like book the super spooky room, which I think is like B340, if I remember the research.
I think it is.
Yeah. So they didn't book that. It was just a regular room. So they weren't going for the haunted experience.
They just needed a place to stay that night.
Yeah.
You know?
So she gets the hotel keys. They've been walking around like Long Beach area all day. So they're pretty like tired. So they get into the room. They get their luggage situated. And I think they either got like one of those family suites where you have like, you know, 2 bedrooms and a living space, or they got like a connected, a connected room where there's like the door that you can open up and you have two doors, and bigger families usually get those. So they get all settled and they're getting ready for bed. My cousins are staying in the other room, and then the 3 aunts are all staying in one room together. The next thing that happened was the cousins were like, all right, we're going to bed. It's pretty late. We just had a long day. So they go into their room, shut the door, go to sleep. My aunts all get ready to go down, and 2 of them are on a bed together, and one's like, the bed's too soft. I need to sleep on the ground. So she's hardcore, like
Asian.
Very Asian. So she like just rolls out, I don't know, like a flat sheet and a pillow, and she's content with that. So they shut out the lights, and my aunt is like tossing and turning, trying to fall asleep. She hears my other aunt going like, stop it. Like, ow, you're on my hair. So she like feels over and feels my other aunt next to her and is like, okay. So she calls out, she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, one of you's like trying to like stepping on my hair right now. And so they flip on the lights, and they're all just like 2 of them in the bed and one on the floor. And the one on the floor is like, oh, I thought one of you was like trying to walk to the bathroom, and so you're stepping on my hair. They're like, nope, we're still in the bed. She's like, okay. Anyways, so they turn the lights off again. I don't know, 5-10 minutes go by. And then she goes again. She's like, ow, stop. You're stepping on my hair. She feels over again. My other aunt's in the bed still, and she's on the ground. They flip on the lights. No one's pulling your hair. No one's trying to get out of bed. So they just like are like, okay, maybe she's just sleep deprived, or I don't know. They had no explanation for it. So they're like, okay, well, let's try to go to bed. So another 5-10 minutes go by. My aunt, her stomach's kind of upset. And so she's like, I need some hot water, because she's older. Hmong people only drink like warm drinks. She calls the front desk. She's like, hey, could we get some hot water in our room? They're like, yeah, if you come down to the front desk, we'll get you some. Those 3 aunts all go together because they all want like a glass of hot water before bed. They go down to the front desk receptionist, and they're like, hey, we're the ones that called about the hot water. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention, she said that they were like the only ones in the hotel. Like no one else was staying there. And so they like walked through all the halls, didn't see anybody. Anyways, they get to the front desk, and they're like, hey, could we have that hot water? The lady's like, oh, here's a walkie-talkie. Take the elevator like down 2 levels to the kitchen, and you can get some hot water there. And she's like, what? Like, don't you just have like a coffee maker like in the back that you could just like pour hot water into for us?
For
She's
a
like,
side quest.
I know. I was like, maybe she thought she was part of the like spooky night. Like, here, go explore on your own. I don't know. She was super confused. So she took the walkie-talkie and she goes into the elevator and goes down like.
She's like, copy.
Copy that. So she goes down and she gets to like this kitchen breakfast area. It opens up. It's like this big, I don't know, like assembly hall type looking thing. But it's after hours. So like all the chairs are put up. And she sees like people walking around in white aprons and like white chef's hats. But she said the way it was like, she was like, hey, can anyone help us? We're just trying to get some hot water, and was just like waving her hand at people walking by. But she said like no one recognized that they were even there. Like in like the cartoons or movies when everything's like moving around you and you're just standing there and it's like you don't exist. But she was like, hey, can anyone help us get hot water? And everyone just kept walking by. No one would make eye contact. No one was like looking at her. She's like, it felt like we were just invisible. So they finally just like find, again, like a coffee maker type machine, and they just put hot water in their cups. She like turns around and then like no one's there. So she's like, what the heck? Like, she's like, I was just surrounded by like 20 people like hard at work, like moving stuff around, like pushing carts around, taking dishes back. So they all were there together, and they all remember like seeing that together, which is super bizarre. They get back, they drop the walkie-talkie off. Like, I don't know why we got this, but thank you. So they go back to their room. They drink their drinks. They're settled. Their stomach feels better. So they're about to go to bed. They lay down, And then they realized that the window in their room was open. They like
The whole time?
no, it was closed when they got there. So they're like, why is our room like so much colder? And they're like, oh, the window's open. And she said it was higher up, so she had to like get on a table to like close it, and then she locked it. And then she gets back down, like gets off the table, runs over to the bed, tries to fall back asleep. The room gets really cold again, and she looks over and the window's open again. So she's like, guys, who's opening the window? And realizes the ant in the bed next to her is asleep and the one on the ground is asleep. So she's like, what the? So she goes over, moves the table, jumps back up on it, and shuts the window and locks it again. So she lays back down and she feels like the room get really cold. And then she thinks, oh my gosh, the window's open again. Looks over, window's closed. Now she's like, what is going on? So she's like, I just need to calm down and I need to try and sleep. So she's taking deep breaths, trying to just go to sleep, relax herself. She's like, I'm worked up. It's been a long day. Heard like some voices talking like in the hallway by their like bathroom. She heard the water turn on and off, and then it stayed on. So she was like, am I hearing like water from our bathroom? So she stands up, walks over and turns off the faucet and turns off the bathroom light. Goes back to her bed and is like, I must be like super sleep deprived because all this weird stuff's happening. And she starts just feeling like super nauseous. She's like, oh, I just don't feel well. So she turns on the lights, like goes to the bathroom, wipes off her face, does like one of those things where you like look yourself in the mirror, like, am I seeing all this stuff right now? Like, what's going on? That night ends. She somehow sleeps for like 2 or 3 hours, wakes up in the morning, talks to my cousins. She's like, man, last night was just such a rough night. And her cousins are like, yeah, we were just trying to sleep and you kept coming to our room and taking our blankets off of us. And she's like, what? And my cousin's like, yeah, we were trying to sleep and you just kept pulling the blankets off of us. And they're like, we never went into your room. Both aunties were asleep. I was up, but I was in my room only. They're like, well, we remembered multiple times, like somebody just yanking the blanket out of my hand. They were like connecting all these stories and they're like, well, just cancel the next night. We're not staying here. And so they get out and she walks out of her room and she sees a long line of people waiting to get on the now ship that she sees. And so she goes over and she asks someone in line, like, what are you guys doing here? He's like, oh, it's a haunted ship. We're going on a tour here. And she's like, what? Like, this is a haunted ship? He's like, yeah, our tour starts in like 20 minutes.
She's like, I've been living it.
She's like, okay, this is all coming together now. So she gets home. She's like talking to my other cousins. They're like, what ship did you stay on? Like, I don't know, like Queen Mary's Hotel or something. They're like, no, that's like a haunted ship. And so they looked it up and like a bunch of the common sightings were like, people have been like saying that they'll hear voices and that the water turns on and off. And that's representative of like the housemaids that passed away on the ship. And like, there's a really famous guy that is known to stand at like the foot of the bed and he'll take your blanket off of you. And so like, they're just matching up all these things that they had no idea even were things. And it freaked her out. Like she was like pale white, like I experienced all of those things last night and I had no idea. So that's her story of going on to the Queen Mary ship with like no intention of like ghost hunting or experiencing anything. Like she just went into that like, oh, this is a regular hotel. So,
bro, that is, dude, it's probably because when was the Queen Mary running as a normal? Up until when? Do we know?
It would have been like Google.
1940s is when it would be transporting the soldiers.
So the ghosts, we can assume that they were racist, and they weren't servicing your aunt and her family, right?
And if it was World War II.
36
yeah,
to 67.
And if it was World War II, so they're extra racist.
This is
time.
true.
They're like, oh, you're looking for water.
Oh no.
I think I'm just saying, you know?
I mean, true. I think the kitchen part's kind of weird because they all
I have a
saw
theory
the
about the
same
kitchen
thing.
part.
All right, let's hear it.
Tell them, soldier boy.
Okay, it feels like a time slip or like a glitch in the Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they went down there and for a split second they were like back in time.
Yeah.
Why would the lady at the desk give them a walkie-talkie?
Dude, I don't know.
In case they got lost, dude.
Because it's happened before. and people have like
Okay.
slipped and gotten stuck.
And it's crazy too, because it's like they knew, and they're like, "We're not going down there.
You can go get
the
your
portal.
own
You're
hot
going to have to
water.
deal with the racist ghosts yourselves." They weren't even answering her. They're like, "We don't have a fountain for your type down here."
They're all speak English.
I am speaking English.
They're like, no,
No,
not my
no,
English.
no.
Not my English.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's really weird that she gave them a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
It feels like they slipped in time and they were like, I don't know. That part was eerie.
Bro,
to
I was
me.
getting the Shining vibes.
Mhm.
Like when he's in the
Yes.
big room with the, yeah.
And the bartender's there,
Yeah.
and he has a conversation.
Yeah.
Mr. Grady.
Well,
It's exactly.
I asked her, I was like, why? Like, did she tell you why she gave you a walkie-talkie? She's like, no, she just handed it to us and was like, here's a walkie-talkie. Like, let me know if you need help while you're down there. Just like, talk to me through this. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't know. That's the
odd.
most mind-boggling thing to me. Like, it does not make sense to me.
Not only does
Yeah.
that not make sense, that's a major red flag.
I don't know. It sounds like an adventure to me.
Me too, bro.
You know,
I
if
love
I was
that,
like walking back up to like Chick-fil-A and I'm like, "Can I get some Chick-fil-A sauce?" and they hand me a walkie-talkie
To
they're like,
find her.
follow the instructions. Somebody calls me on the
head to
phone.
the-
They're like, "In 10 seconds, jump out the window."
Yeah, head to the storeroom and wait further instructions. You're like, oh shit.
when the lantern blinks 3 times,
Yeah,
then you'll know.
I'm all
Know
about
what?
that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm down, dude.
Dude, when I was like 14, I had the opportunity to go travel Spain for a month with a homie of mine. I've told this on pod before, but I don't know if I like fully encompassed how insane it was. So we like went all over Spain. We stayed in the craziest hotels, and one of them was a 500-year-old castle. And when it looked like Hogwarts, like stone walls. There was dead ass suits of armor along the hallway, tapestries, paintings, torches. It was old. And we would get to a town like on Thursday, and my friend Noah, his mom would be like, "All right, we'll see you for dinner like on Saturday night. See ya." And it was like just complete freedom. And so that night, we had been told by someone, like a bellhop or something, like, "Hey, careful, this hotel is haunted." And it felt it. Like every hallway, ancient. There's like tapestries and rooms and wooden doors with like metal doorknobs and like
What the-
Scooby-Doo.
dead ass, bro. And so what did we do? Like my friend Noah hates spooky stuff, but I was like, I'm not gonna miss this. So we crawled around every nook and cranny of that hotel. Like we went down to the basement, and they had this huge ballroom with thousands of chairs like lined up, and we like crawled under the chairs
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
looked in all the corners.
So you
then they had this-
you solemnly swear that you're up to no good.
I was up to the knowest good, bro. And there was one point late in the night we were going to be done, and there's an outdoor courtyard, and it's this big like square balcony on the inside of the castle. And we're walking down, and I look, and there's kind of a recess in the wall, but it's blocked with a big ass plant. And bro, my spidey senses went off, and I was like, let's check it out. And I walked around the plant, and the recess goes back into the wall, and it gets really narrow, almost to like it touches the other wall. I was like, I gotta check it out. So I went over there and I looked around, and there was a tiny, skinny wooden door. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I open it, and what do I see? Stone steps, a spiral staircase leading up. And I was like, let's go. Dude. So we go up the spiral staircase. We're now, dude, this sounds fake. I can see it in my head. We're in a bell tower. And there is like a foot of like pigeon shit on the ground. And we are balancing on like beams because there's like wooden beams, and then in between, I don't know how sturdy it is. So we're like balancing on beams, walking across this old bell tower on top of like 500-year-old bird shit. It's so crazy. We find another stone or a stone staircase, and we go up it, and now we're on top of the castle.
Oh, that's
It's like
so
3
sick.
in the morning in the middle of Spain. It's like foggy outside, lights in the city, and we're like walking around the perimeter of this castle. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And we're like walking on these like think like Helm's Deep like battle. It's like we're like on top of this bridge thing, and shit was crazy, bro. But just hearing that, like having a huge hotel to yourself at night, there's nothing like it, dude. It's so crazy.
That would be kind
And
of
then
Never
just
ran
to,
into
like-
anything though.
No people.
Nothing spooked you out?
Nope. No entities. It was just like all open doors. Nothing was locked. Nothing was locked. Every door we tried, it was open, and we're like, let's explore. It was crazy.
Free game.
It was wild. Yeah.
That
It
does
felt
sound
like
a movie.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
bro.
Hell
But yeah,
dude.
Anyway.
I'm calling it within the next year or so.
we're going.
We're going to some place famously haunted and staying there,
100%.
vlogging it, whether it's the Queen Mary or Savannah, Georgia, or I don't know, one of these crazy places. I don't know, but we're gonna do it.
I'm down. Let's do it. Even the Queen Mary would be perfect.
That'd be sick.
We're way overdue for something like that because we've
100%.
checked out local stuff,
Yeah.
but we haven't ever traveled for the podcast.
That would be so cool.
2023, dude. We're doing it. Manifesting. Oh yeah, let's
Who's-
real
who's
quick. Let's
coming?
manifest
Who's coming? Who's gonna be on that trip? Tristan gonna be
us,
there?
and then
Sean
anyone
gonna
who's
be there?
down.
Kevin
Kevin would be
famous
fun.
people. I'm talking about famous people though.
Oh, famous people. Oh, is Post coming with us?
If we try to manifest,
I feel like Charlie and I need a third Asian to go with us to ask for hot water and see.
Dude,
if he has
DJ's
a
Chinese,
walkie-talkie.
bro.
I'm right here.
That's right.
Hey, it's
Oh,
all right. I'm
shoot.
Filipino. All of y'all look over us, like
Messed
literally, and also just like socioeconomics of Asia. Like Filipinos are
Whoa.
always overlooked.
Well, that's my bad.
Hey, it's okay.
Dude, we did have a blue check follow us on IG recently.
It was like some hockey player, I think. Was it?
No,
No,
he's a
he's an
fighter.
MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, MMA fighter.
Who?
First blue
Yeah,
check.
that's
follow.
perfect, bro. Because if we get into some
Oh,
shit,
yeah,
we'll
dude.
knock it
Who's,
out, bro.
who's on our team in our zombie apocalypse? Our trip has now turned into the
Zombie apocalypse.
Bro, stay on task. Stay on task. That's a good question. No, I'm with that. Can we manifest real quick? Because it's weirdly been working.
Well, I was gonna say we should get John Cena with us because he can fight and he can speak to the Chinese. You know?
And they can't see him.
Being chilling, you know.
Being chilling.
It's
Okay, hold my hand, Tristan.
Wait,
Okay.
this one?
And actually hold Sean's hand. Okay, guys, we are lucky
We are lucky
and things go our way.
and things go our way.
Bro,
we go.
Tristan, we got like 10 sponsor asks
Like
in the last week.
Yeah.
In one day, we got 6.
That's so
So if y'all start hearing, if y'all start hearing ads on this, don't get mad. Just know that your boys are finally getting paid for the first time in 5 years.
listen through the whole ad, do not skip.
And real
Or
quick,
if you can support the ads, go get it because we're doing good ones like BetterHelp and things like that. Use our promo code. It's 3 a.m.
just
Who'da thought?
betterhelp.com/3 a.m. Which
Bro, we have a
didn't-
promo code, cuz.
we didn't get paid for saying that on stream, but
I know,
We have it.
but the more people who use the promo, like, will look good and they'll re-sign with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a trial run. They're like, let's see if y'all can move numbers. It's like, bitch, we have up listeners. They all need
We all need a little
Therapy.
bit of therapy.
yeah. Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah.
Tristan, that's
Yes.
fun. I love that.
Dude, such a fun story. I mean, a lot of hers are like back when I was in Laos, but this one was recently, 5 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's cool.
I love they weren't looking for it. They had no
Yeah.
idea about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's probably what probably happened just because they were the ones not anticipating it. So they probably had their defenses down.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Dude, I bet there's ghost hunters who've gone for 15 years and never
Yeah.
had an experience, and they're probably so pissed right now.
Sucks to suck.
Dang it.
Cool.
So, leading into this second story, I had a question, and maybe you have answers or experiences. If you don't, no worries. But have you guys ever in your life had an experience where either quick wittedness in thinking or composure resulted in like a good outcome, as in like it could have been a life-threatening situation or you could have been seriously injured, but because you kept your composure or because you had like quick thinking, you made it through that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, for example,
every time I jump off the bus in Fortnite, I'm like, I got this. I thank the bus driver and I get victory royale.
perfect. Well, that's a great example. I was thinking of like, you know, this.
I hate that.
He was thinking of a good example.
No, I was thinking of like the story, you know, like the lady that was with that like kidnapper or ex-boyfriend or whatever, like calls and pretends she's ordering a pizza and then like gives the coordinates or address to get saved. Like, have any of you had something, maybe not that drastic, but something kind of on that level?
So I had one, but it wasn't my safety. It was someone else's, probably life.
Mm-hmm.
And I did share a little bit about it on podcasts. This was a year or two ago, where I get to work and see this accident.
I gotta go. I
happen.
love you so much.
Okay.
Sorry.
I missed
Bye.
the story,
goods.
bro.
Okay. Love you, bro.
I see this accident happen right out in the middle of the road. And like, I run out into the middle of the road and I know the person who got hit.
Oh, geez.
They were crossing, like going across the crosswalk. Somebody who hadn't like defogged their windows pulls around, hits him. He hits the front and then hits the ground. And it's this like 19-year-old girl. She's crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You call the police. I need you to stop traffic. And I'm like talking to him, I'm like, are you good? Can you can you hear me? He's like, his head is like bleeding and stuff. And like, I was standing there with him until like the cops and ambulance got there. I don't know like if that made a difference, but I like to think that it did.
Dude, you learned that in Boy Scouts, bro.
Bro, yeah.
You're an Eagle Scout.
I know how to do a square knot.
And to become an Eagle Scout, you have to get merit badges.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And one of the main merit badges is emergency preparedness.
That's right.
It's true.
And I remember taking that class and them like having us, we like role played.
Yeah.
They're like, call out specific names like you in the green shirt, call 911. So glad to see you're still using your skills. It didn't get you a job.
I
You
still
didn't-
haven't got a job from
like
it.
they promised us, put it on your resume.
Yeah, you
But,
have to use those skills.
you saved a life and you get to feel good about yourself.
There you go.
I do feel good about myself for that.
Nice. Good work, Sean.
Hell yeah.
Quick
Thank you.
thinking.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Scout salute. I'm sorry, I don't have
I was
one.
gonna say-
I haven't been in like very many life-threatening situations.
Hey, that's probably good, right?
Probably.
I mean, that means you're probably doing things right if you're not
Yeah.
put in those situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a win too.
Okay.
Real quick, for our listeners, Charlie had to dip out real quick. Well, not even really. I don't think he's coming back, but he had to dip out because of baby. So it's just the three of us riding out the rest of this. So
We got this.
hell yeah.
All right. So this one is about my grandpa. This story kind of shaped his attitude towards camping and surviving on unfamiliar ground that's not your own. Like respecting the area around you, especially when it's not your own and you don't belong there, right? So you need to respect the land.
Uh-huh.
So I mentioned last week on the teaser, this is the story about when he had an encounter with what Hmong people believe as like a shapeshifter / jungle demon that they call the Phim Nyuj Vais. A quick description of this one. It's a shape-shifting jungle demon that takes the form of like a monkey. But like when I heard monkey, I was thinking like, I don't know, just a little
Like a spider monkey.
Spider monkey, a Boo from Aladdin type thing. But when I did some research, it said it's more like a silverback gorilla with a wolf's head and sharp long claws. So there's the next Pokemon.
Oh shoot! What type is that even?
I don't.
That's fighting, bro.
Oh yeah. It's straight up Harambe.
So, when this demon wants to see you in its normal state, it will present itself that way, but it can shapeshift into anything that it wants to either camouflage as or present itself to you as. You can hear its call like in the middle of the night or wherever you're out and about, and it sounds similar to that of a screeching pig.
Oh, I don't like that.
Which is just terrifying if you think about being out at night in the wilderness and you hear that. The even scarier thing is even if you hear it in the distance, that means it's close enough and already knows your location. So I was like, oh, I hate that.
So it's just like warning you.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like,
I know where you are.
I know you're in my area, basically.
I know where your grandma lives, all of it.
Yeah. The number one attractant is like cooking things on your campfire.
When you do cook things on your,
when you're
it'll bring
cooking
it.
on your campfire, that's an attractant to that, especially if you're already in its like territory. So,
No eating.
no eating on camp. You're
Rude.
fasting.
Big rude.
When you go on a camp out, you better not be eating. It's survival of the fittest. This is when my grandpa was younger. Again, this is like kind of forming him into the leader he was. Like the characteristics he had is because of like his experiences.
No. Again, they're in Laos.
Yep, in Laos. So him and his cousin were gonna go hunting porcupines, which is a weird, like.
Is that common there?
Yeah, my aunt was saying that was something that they ate, but I'm like, how do you? I don't know the science behind skinning a porcupine.
Never heard of that. Yeah,
That's what they were hunting. So,
What's the name of this thing again?
let me tell you how to spell it. PHIM space NYUJ space VAIS.
Crazy.
Any pictures come up? I actually didn't.
It looks like
Google.
some wild werewolves on here, but
I don't know.
there's one with like a boar.
Yeah.
These wild, huge tusks. I was just looking it up. These depictions are hilariously atrocious. Okay. Sorry.
Anyways, so they decide to go hunting. So they take off from their village and they set up like a base camp several miles away, again, on unfamiliar territory.
Mm-hmm.
They just set up, a little fire where they're going to put their like tents for the night or their little huts. They both say, hey, let's meet up in a couple hours, like as I don't know how they tracked it because they went at like sunset basically. So they're like, let's just come back when it's dark, see if we get anything. So they head off in different directions. I mean, it's a full moon plus the sun setting. The lighting isn't super great. Anyways, my grandpa's cousin goes off in this direction and he's sitting like under a tree and he sees a porcupine. So he pulls up his like rifle and he shoots it. And then he watches it like run maybe 10, 15 feet, spasm, and then fall down. And then he said he started to walk towards it. And then he saw a hand reach out from like the bush behind and grab the porcupine and take it into the bush. And he's like,
first of all, rude.
Yeah. How dare you take my food? I worked hard for that.
Yeah. I can't eat it. I can't kill it. I can't like.
So he's like, whoa, like I might be tripping, but that was wild. So he's like, okay, I'm not even going to try and go after that. Again, poor lighting. So he's like, whatever. He kind of goes back to his tree, sees another porcupine go by, doesn't really have a good shot at it. So he lets it go by. Third porcupine comes by, shoots it, does the same thing, runs 10, 15 feet, falls over, does its little like twitching thing. And so he starts walking over a little bit more briskly to it.
That's called dying, Tristan. Does this cute little,
Cute little dance.
does the Dougie a little bit and just, gives up.
And that's how it is. So he walks over. Same thing happens. Hand goes out, grabs this porcupine and pulls it back into the bush. Oh. So he's like, oh, he doesn't know what to think. He's
Did
just
it look
so
like a human hand, or did he say like at that point what he was thinking?
No, he said, well, I mean, he could tell it was some sort of limb / hand thing. Like he didn't know if it was human, but he just saw it literally just like engulf the porcupine and pull it back into the bush. And so he's like, well, that sucks. I didn't get anything. I better go back to camp. My grandpa on like the other end of the valley has no luck at all. And it's dark. So he starts walking back to his camp. When he gets to the campfire, he sees an old man just sitting at the fire. And he's like, that's kind of weird. Like, that's not really good etiquette to just go up and sit at like someone else's fire, right? Like you didn't come with them. So why are you sitting in their camp?
Yeah.
So he walks over very like on edge. Again, this is why I was asking before, because I think he had some like composure and quick thinking in this moment. He walks over, is like staring at the dude as he kind of gets closer to the fire, and he's like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing out here? And he said, or my aunt was telling the story, and she said that the old man was just sitting there like looking down at the fire, like rubbing his chin, didn't really say anything. And my grandpa's like, so like, what brings you out to our campsite like at this time of night? And the old man just continually rubs his chin. He's like, there's just some people out here just kind of checking in on what they're doing around my area. My grandpa's getting like just this really like the gut feeling of like, this is not a good person, not a good sign. Nothing about this is spelling out like friendly visitor. He goes over to the pile of wood and starts grabbing like logs and throwing them on the fire. And he notices that
he's just making house, like he's comfortable there.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
My grandpa?
Oh, your grandpa. Sorry, I thought the guy.
Yeah, my grandpa goes over and he grabs some logs and he starts throwing them on the fire. When he puts the first log on the fire, he notices that there's 2 porcupines in the fire.
Oh.
And so he's like kind of head tilt, like, I didn't bring back anything and my cousin's not back.
Yeah.
So he's like, Now he starts really pouring on like firewood. And this old man kind of like starts scooting back from the fire. He's like, what are you doing? And my grandpa said, oh, I'm just building the fire big enough in case I have to burn a body tonight.
And damn, that's hard.
That's hard, dude.
That's so hard.
I was like, what? I like told her, I was like, he said that? She's like, well, yeah, he had like this feeling that like nothing about this was good. And the old guy kind of got irritated. He's like, I don't really like the fire that big.
Your grandpa's all like, not by the hairs on my chin.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll huff and puff.
I'll huff and puff.
Blow your house down.
So he starts throwing more wood on, and this part I could visualize very well. Like I'm watching him just like stare down this guy at his campfire as he like walks back and forth from the wood pile. And the guy just stands up and starts backing up, and he's like, okay, I just want you to know you need to be careful in this area, essentially is what he said. And then he like just backs up into the darkness, kind of like your Ted Bundy story, right?
Yeah, he just backs into
Homer
the darkness.
Simpson.
Yeah, Homer Simpson back into the bushes. But this old guy just stands up and then backs away from the fire. And right as he does that, my grandpa's cousin comes running into the campsite, and he's like, dude, we got to get out of here. I can't tell you why right now because I'm so freaked out, but we need to go. And he's like, I totally feel you. Like drops his cool man like composure. He's like, we gotta go. So they like quickly spread their fire, put it out. And my aunt said they walked like hip to hip, sped walk out of there until like, I don't know, they got back to their village. So probably like,
and y'all be speed walking fast.
That's right. So like two hours of just like nobody talking, just walking.
Damn.
Hip to hip, just walking. They get to like the village where they're from. And my cousin's like, dude, I have to tell you what just happened. I shot a porcupine and then a hand grabbed it. And then I shot another one and a hand grabbed it. And then my grandpa goes, well, I got to tell you something even crazier. I got back to our campfire and there was a guy there and he had 2 porcupines cooking on the fire. And that was like when they connected stories, they're like, whoa. So they're pretty positive.
That's creepy.
That was at least connected. But from that experience, my aunt was saying that's how my grandpa started practicing respect for like the land. So whenever they would do like hunting trips, or especially when they were trying to like get to like Thailand when it was time to leave their village, every time they entered like a new area to camp or to stay or to hunt, they would make their camp. First thing they do is have a meal. And as part of the meal, my grandpa would offer up like food from the meal and say like a prayer out loud, basically to whatever deity or spirits or whoever is in ownership of this land. We're just going to use it temporarily to rest here. We like to share part of our meal with you. We understand that this is your land. We respect it, but we're tired and weary. We need to rest. Please protect us as we like hunt and share the stuff on this land with you. We promise not to be disrespectful. And every time they did that from then on, they never had like scary encounters with any spirits or anything like that. It was all just positive, safe, and no more scary silverback gorilla wolf.
Phim Nyuj Vais, is that what it is?
Yeah. None of that. So
that's dope though. Like, the story is so good, but also I love that, like, after that they would like offer the like little prayer or like offering. That's kind of like, I'm about that.
Yeah, dude. Like acknowledging it and like respecting it and letting it, trying to like find some common ground and be like, we're in your area, fool. You pulled up.
But we respect your distance.
We respect your and it's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like experiences like that, I think that help. I mean, I think all of us should be a little bit more like that, where you're taking experiences that you have and forming your future self because of those by being better. And I think he had enough of those where he had experiences where he's like, I need to change something about myself to be better. And that's like his experience of, I need to respect the land that's not mine. And even though I'm going to temporarily rest here, like this is technically someone else's land, so I should respect it and ask for like their blessing to hunt the animals on this land or to eat the crops on this land or to harvest, you know? So I think that helped people have more respect, because he started doing that in front of lots of people like, oh, we're going hunting. Why are you like dedicating part of your meal to no one, essentially? And he would tell them that story and why he learned to respect areas that he wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a fascinating observation into how people learn from the land. It's just their relationship, and there's a cause and then the effect, and then it influences their culture.
Right.
And just their way of living and their attitudes towards each other. And that's carried on. And I wonder how us city folk, the yuppies, lose that as we become, in some instances, in cases, just disconnected from, being in nature and like tilling the land and getting our hands in dirt and having those kind of experiences,
Yeah.
It's replaced with other things, other good and sometimes not as good things, but yeah, those are things that like really influence culture, because you talk to Hmongs, it's like, yeah, this is how we are, and you can trace it back to like certain like events like that. It's because this wolf-headed pig, was stealing my grandpa's porcupines, and it's like, that's tight, that's dope. I love that.
Also, that's probably the hardest thing I've ever heard. I gotta build a big fire in case I gotta get rid of
myself a body tonight, dude.
I was like, dang,
only
kind of thug.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. It's what I'd expect from grandpa.
That's right.
So was that all you had?
That's all like scary. I don't know if those were that scary.
That's terrifying, dude. If I'm hunting in the forest and I watch something from the bushes steal my kill, even if it's a human, I just see the hand. I'm like, I'm about to shoot the bush, dude.
Just unload the clip, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I could tell a little like folktale story about why people are left-handed and why people are right-handed.
Dude, go.
Oh,
go
yeah.
Okay, this one is like just. The Hmong people have like this legend as to why people are left-handed versus right-handed. And basically there's like this big kingdom with like thousands of people living there. The king was really prosperous. The village and city was really prosperous. And a giant eagle took residence in the mountains next to it. And it started coming down and taking and eating people every day. And every day it was more and more and more and more people. And so they got to the point where I told you.
Fight back?
Well, they were like, well, the eagle's so big that if it spread its wings, it would span 11 homes. So like, they're like, how do we fight this thing? And,
11 home wingspan? Fire.
Yeah. So they ask the king, what are we supposed to do about this? And the king says, we need to have a big sacrifice and pray to the gods above that we can have a rescuer come and save us. So like I told you before, like the bigger the animal, the more important sacrifice it is.
Yeah.
So they got like 3 ox and like 5 buffaloes and just sacrifice those and like, please send us a rescuer from the heavens above.
And that's a big thing to do in that time.
Yeah.
You know, that's something like working like on your farm or food, you know, hauling goods. So it's like not I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Yeah. So they have
easier than like getting swooped up,
Yeah.
you know?
So by the time they do this, like the population of the city is like very minimal. They're down to like hundreds of people. And then the king is like, well, the only way that we can save our group of people is I need to put my daughter in a giant drum and the rescuer will come and know that she's in there and he'll rescue her in that. So he grabs his daughter and he puts her in a giant drum and he goes, when the time's right, a rescuer will come and save you from this. So the eagle comes and takes the rest of the people and the daughter is just stuck in the drum, not knowing what's going on. A man from many villages away lives in a house on like stilts that's like 100 feet high. So he lives in the clouds, right? He's the rescuer from the heavens, quote unquote, because he's living up in the clouds.
Yeah.
His wife comes home and goes, oh, honey, I saw some rhinoceros tracks underneath our home. You should go hunt it and bring it home for dinner. And he goes, rhinoceros tracks? Like, why would a rinoceros be out here? She's like, I don't know.
Under our home.
Like, she's like, I don't know, but go track it down. He's like, okay. So he preps, you know, some meals and his equipment to go hunting because he's going to be gone for a couple days. So he goes down. He's like, oh, yep, there's rhinoceros tracks. I better follow this thing home or follow it to where it lives so I can hunt it. So as he follows it, it leads him, the footprints lead him to this beautiful city. And he's walking around. He's like, this is such a beautiful city. Why is no one living here? And
it was abandoned.
No one was there. And so he's like, there's a drum over there. I bet if I bang on the drum and call out, the people, the people will come out. So he drums on the drum and he's like, hello, is anybody here? Can you hear me? Is anyone here in the city?
Get wrecked to the girl.
Then he hears a girl's voice on the inside and she goes, please, Mr. Eagle, if you're going to kill me, do it quick and don't cause me any pain. And he's like, what? And so he bangs on the drum again. He's like, if anyone's here, like, come down. I'm here in the city. And then again, she says like, Mr. Eagle, if you're here to kill me, please do it quick and make it painless. He's like, that's coming from within the drum. So he grabs his machete and he cuts the drum open. And she's like freaking out like, oh, its talons are coming through the drum. It found me. And he goes, what are you doing in here? She goes, oh, you must be the rescuer my dad promised. He's like, rescuer? And she's like, well, yes, there's this giant eagle that's been coming down and eating everyone in our village. He's like, giant eagle? I bet I could take care of it. He's like, but I need you to lure the eagle in so I can kill it. She's like, are you crazy? I'm not going to bring the eagle back to us. It'll just kill us. And then he says, well, if you don't lure the eagle here, I'll kill you. And she's like, oh, I guess my hands are tied at this point. I gotta lure the eagle in. He's like, well, how do you do that? She's like, well, it's pretty easy. We just have to work like the rice mill. He's like, okay, well, I want you to go into the rice mill and start like putting the rice on like the grindstone and lure the eagle in. So she goes in and starts doing that and he gets posted up. And sure enough, like 2 minutes after she starts working the grindstone, the eagle comes swooping in and he shoots it like with 3 bolts from his crossbow. And he takes down this eagle and he goes, this eagle's been eating all the people in this village? She's like, yeah, just take a look. And so he cuts open the stomach and he sees like all of these human bones in the stomach. He starts putting back together skeletons of humans. He does this for like days without sleeping. And after days and days of doing it, he just wants to get all the bones organized. So he just starts getting sloppy and puts right hands on left hands and left hands on right and right bones on left bones, back and forth. And that's the legend of why Hmong people believe, because as those people were reincarnated into the next life, if they had a left like arm bone on the right or a right on the left, that's how they believe that left and right-handed people were created. Not scary, but definitely a folklore kind of story.
That's a fun story, though.
That's dope. Do you have more like that?
I None off the top of my head right now that are like memorized to that point, but I have a couple more that I could potentially in the future do.
Sure.
But I love that one. That one's just so fun. Like, it's just like, it's kind of corny. I think it's just so, I don't know. It's just so perfect for like people trying to describe to their kids why people are that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what, folklore is for, right? I mean, I was trying to think of like, have you guys ever heard of like any stories like that we're told why things are the way they are, like fairy tales or anything? I couldn't think of.
Ask the question again.
Like, do you have any stories that you've heard where like your parents or like school teachers are like, and that's why things are the way they are?
Hawaii's rife with those kind of stories.
Yeah.
Tons. And while you were telling yours, I was recalling one of the stories that I was told growing up. And I'm like going over it's pretty vague in my memory. So I'm trying to like review it really quick. Can I like take 1 minute and you guys just talk to chat or something?
Yeah.
Real quick. And then I can tell it. Or do you have one, Sean?
We have a couple packages we can open.
Okay. Let's do that. Yeah.
Packages.
Dude, you're here with it for the whole thing, Tristan.
I'm here. What's chat saying? I think Charlie stepped in. Sorry, baby's been sick today.
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
We got some more packages that I picked up from our P.O. box, which is, where do we have that listed? I can't remember. Is it on our Linktree, Deej?
Yeah. Our wish list is on our Linktree, and I think also in our Twitch in the description or below.
Okay. Well, we're gonna open a couple of these packages. Let's see what we got here. We got a note first. That's just a receipt.
Nice.
But
whoa,
this looks dope.
That's sick.
We got a book, and this book is Foxfire Story, Oral Tradition in Southern Appalachia.
Dude.
Ooh. Here, I'm going to
That's
show
for you.
dude.
That's for you specifically. There we go.
Bro.
This looks dope.
That's sweet.
We don't know who sent that.
It only came with a receipt in here. So, no, we do not. If you sent it, you can own up to it in chat if you're in chat. Thanks, though. This looks dope. I'm gonna read this.
Sweet. Okay, let's see what this one is. Oh, it looks like some goodies.
I think we just ran out of Reese's and Ferrero Rocher that people sent us.
All right, DJ, what is it?
Oh, hey! Jalapeno spam, yo! Finna fry that up.
Spam.
How do we cook it? We fry it up. Some eggs, some rice is perfect. Do we know who sent it? We got a little note or anything?
Yeah, is there a note in that one?
Doesn't look like a note.
I love that it's from Amazon too. Somebody searched spam on Amazon.
Now their feed is just spam.
Yeah, I don't see a note in here.
All goods.
And
Does
then,
it say on the front who it's from? No, it's just
either.
Amazon.
Yeah, just Amazon.
Thank you again. If it's you, you can own up to it in chat.
This is some Auntie's delicious spotted dick.
What? What?
Aunties?
Yeah. Look.
Hey, I'm
I
down.
don't even know what.
I'm down for Auntie's spotted dick.
Bro, I'm all about a good dick, dude.
Steamed puds? I don't even know. If I read that wrong, but I think Sean, did I read that right?
Annie's delicious spotted dick.
Yeah.
Steamed puds.
Both are from Pack Attack.
Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you so much. Pack Attack coming through. Bless you.
Dude. Good work.
Somebody in chat said spotted dick is like a dessert?
Yeah.
It does look desserty.
Like a pudding cup, right?
Oh.
I don't know.
Ingredients:
to
sugar
make it.
syrup,
Eee.
wheat flour.
A figgy pudding?
Yeah, dude, it might be.
What is that? What is a figgy pudding?
Bro, I still don't know what a figgy pudding
Great
is.
question.
No one's brought it to me.
This is
No, it's
spotted
wrong.
dick pudding.
Let's look it up.
Dude. That is awesome.
Like did anyone think they could make this and like expect us to not act 12 years old?
12 years old.
Traditional British steamed pudding, historically made with a suet, and dried fruit, often served with custard. What? Why? Did y'all see the meme? It was like, why do the British still eat like the Germans are flying overhead? And the picture is like like beans and
like
beans and ham
luncheon meat. Someone wants us to eat it right now.
Okay, do I have to cook this?
Dude,
I don't
double
think so.
check, but I don't think so.
Are we trying to?
Bro, yeah, let me go get a spoon. Multiple spoons?
Yeah. All right, let's try it.
We feed each other.
We do in a triangle.
We dick each other down.
Oh no.
Live.
Do it for the people.
For free.
For the content.
Sean's grabbing some spoons.
It's Spotted Richard if you're trying to be formal.
Oh. Non-traditional variants include recipes that replace suet. What is suet?
That's another great Google question.
How to pronounce it on YouTube?
Spit my gum out real quick.
Peel off foil. Heat each pudding for 30 seconds on high. Base
Suet.
adjust time to suit your own oven. Flip onto plate.
Why was this
It is supposed to be
It's
cooked.
just supposed to be microwaved.
Why is this a
We'll
24?
be back in 30 seconds.
Deal.
Okay. Why was this a 24-second video? Tell me how to say that. Say.
How many
this thing.
views does it have? That's a better question.
It's got 524 views,
Dude,
but this channel's got 674,000 subscribers.
well, we just...
What is that ratio?
It's one of their golden gem videos that's hidden. You know, we're the only ones that found it.
Just a bunch of bots from like Serbia and India. You know when you come across accounts on Instagram
Oh, yeah.
and it's like 20,000 followers, it's like 8 people like this person's
Yeah.
photo. It's like,
There's a lot of those.
why?
I have friends in high school that are like...
Why'd you spend money?
Yeah, they're like doing the whole, I don't know, buy my program and get rich, like investing. And I'll look and I'm like, how does he have that many followers? And yeah, his video is literally like 10 likes.
That's something that's so special to Utah.
It is.
It's embarrassing.
Well,
How do you feel
I-
being from Utah and just growing up with that, dude? Explain your people to me.
dude. Well, I was like, oh, we were cool friends in high school. And then
you're not.
I was like, I go to his website because I'm like trying to figure out like, why are all his Instagram stories like Excel sheets of like, this is my net profit today. And it's like, I could have just put that on Excel and took a picture of it.
I know.
But I go to his website and it just says words: net profit, growth, success. Spend like $100 with me and we'll make it big for you. And I'm like,
If someone's claiming
what?
to have a secret and you have to pay me for the secret, you got to do the influencer thing,
Dude.
Shawnee boy. Yeah, cover. There
Oh.
we go. Oh, look
Look
at
at
that
that.
bokeh.
The texture.
Ooh. Okay, so suet is the raw, hard fat of beef.
That's what this is?
Well, that's what's mixed into spotted dick. It's suet and dried
Sean's-
fruit,
Sean's going for the first bite.
often served with custard.
All right. Oh, look at the smoke steam coming off that thing. All right. Oh, here we go.
My first spotted dick.
I'm nervous. Oh, the ASMR.
It's actually
Oh,
kind of
please.
good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
It's like,
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too.
Oh, we all should have gotten a spoon and eaten it at once. It's okay.
Okay, here,
Just go,
DJ.
just go.
Same time.
Okay.
it's like,
That actually smells pretty good.
it's like a cinnamony.
Yeah, it smells like cinnamon. Right? That kind of smells like fall.
Yeah.
Fall goodness.
Upon first glance from a distance, it almost looks like has the consistency of like cornbread or something.
You ever had like those Kodiak like muffins that you
Cheers.
like cook in the
Cheers.
microwave? That's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's not bad.
It's not super flavorful. It's pretty mild
Yeah.
in flavor.
There's not.
which is nice. Do you eat it with anything else?
Did you see that comment?
What does it say? Sean is smacking on that.
Go like this.
I should have done this on my OnlyFans.
You should have.
Sean, go like this. Got the DSLs, dude.
No. That's. I agree. It's like very, very mild flavor.
I think you like. Weren't you saying it was supposed to have like a cream with it or something?
Of course. Always.
Oh no!
Finished off with some cream.
Finished off.
Top.
One could say happy ending.
Ah, nice. Very nice. It's a nice dish.
Yes, I agree.
It's nice. Here, let me give the plate back. You can have some more.
I've actually.
We're winners. We're not quitters here. You know.
True. We gotta eat it all. Sean, you want another?
Don't spit it out.
Spotted dick bite.
Yeah, I'll take another spotted dick.
Here's your spin. Great catch.
Let's go. I got hands, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Pack Attack said cream in top. Oh shoot! Do you smell orange? I smell like a little bit of orange.
That would be that Donald Trump.
No. Interesting.
It's kind of sweet. It's on the sweeter side, but very good.
On a scale 1 to 10, where do you put this?
Okay, this was shipped from Amazon. So this is, I'd assume, not like the best spotted dick we can get. This is not top tier dick.
No. I wonder what the shelf life is of that.
I mean,
Best before 21/4/23. So
Oh, I was like,
April.
April 21st.
That's not very long for a packaged item.
Yeah.
I don't know the average length of shelf life for a packaged item. So,
Average length.
oh no. Dude, no. No. Oh gosh. Gotta think quicker before I speak.
So spotted is a reference to the dried fruit in the pudding, which resembles spots.
Gotcha.
That's dumb. I don't agree with the terminology. There's just way better ways to do it. Dick and dog were dialectal terms
Hickory dickory dog.
widely used for pudding.
That makes sense.
What? Why?
Never heard that before, but sure.
From this, I'm just like so confused on like how that came to be. Why? Just like some British kids in like the 1800s.
Bro, did you ever
Just
see
be
that?
like, you know what that dog reminds me of?
That's a dick.
It's a dick.
That dog reminds me of Dick.
Oh no.
Have you ever seen that show, The History of Swear Words with Nick Cage as like the narrator? It's so good. And each episode is like 20 minutes long and it's a different history of a different swear word.
I've never seen that.
I'm 95% sure one of them is dick. And I bet we would find something about it on here.
Wow.
Well, that was really an experience. One that won't be forgotten.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to share that with you guys.
You know, so I reviewed the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's short. It's very short. And it's very appropriate for what we've been consuming.
Oh,
You know?
I can't wait.
Okay, so getting back, thank you Pack Attack for sending those. That was a treat and made this stream even better than it already was. I don't know how common knowledge it is, but it's about the battle between Pele. Do you remember Pele?
Yeah.
Who is she?
She's the goddess of life or something. Fire.
Another 4-letter word. Yeah, fire.
Life, fire.
Close enough. They're the same thing.
Close. Yes, she is the goddess of fire, one of the most famous deities in Polynesian culture. But yeah, so this story is the battle between Pele and another deity I have not taught you guys about yet, named Kamapua'a. So Kamapua'a is somewhat similar to the Pokemon we talked about earlier tonight. He is the pig god.
Sweet.
Not that he's like the god of pigs, but I think he had like a pig head.
Oh.
But he was the god of two things, agriculture and fertility.
Okay.
So I think Kamapua'a at this time was crushing on Pele. Either or, yeah. Either or, they got into a fight. They're fighting. They're decking it out. I don't know if they were actually like decking it out or if they were like arguing,
fire bending, and
something else. Yeah. God of fertility. So
some other kind of
slang and
throwing rope.
Yo, and because he's a god of fertility, Pele's sister from the sidelines, from the top rope, Pele's sister, whose name is Capo. I guess, I don't know if the battle was even or like Kamapua'a started winning, but Capo was like, I gotta help his sister out. I gotta help her out. So she conjures up a kohelele. Kohelele.
Educate us. What is that?
Lele means to jump or to travel. There's a local airlines in Hawaii called Mokulele, which, and Moku means island. So island jumper, island hopper.
Island hopper.
Right.
Okay.
In Moana, she says, I am Moana of
Motunui.
Motunui or Mokunui island. And the Nui is big. So big island. Yeah.
Learning so much.
Lele is jump. She made this kohelele. Kohe is vagina. So she conjured this kohelele and she kamehameha'd it over. It's the flying vagina and flies right past them.
Oh my god!
It doesn't hit Kamapua'a, but Kamapua'a mid-fight sees this thing and starts chasing it as the god of fertility, as a god of fertility. And this kohelele flies to the island of Oahu. Flies to the island of Oahu, and it lands smack dab on this mountain. And this mountain is now known as Coco Head. So Coco Head, we took a picture on Coco Head last year. If you've been to Oahu, if you've been to Hanauma Bay, very famous place where you can go snorkeling. Yep. Hanauma Bay is like pretty much at the foot of Coco Head. Yeah, so it's in that area, and Coco Head is this dormant volcano, and the big there's like a big crevice on the side of the mountain, and that's Kohelele. That's the flying vagina that landed smack dab in the mountain to distract Kamapua'a. And I think Kamapua'a, I don't know if he roams all of the islands, but I know he walks Oahu, travels around Oahu.
Yeah,
that's what got him there.
Dang.
Was the flying vagina. So
that's some serious lore I'll never forget.
It's super. Yeah, I've actually had that story in the chamber for a while and had no idea when to share it.
Drop that. So is Coco Head the one with the stairs that you go all the way up?
You hiked that.
Yeah, I was going to say I did.
Because Sean when we went to Hawaii last year, Sean
was there a day early?
Yeah, he got there before us, so he spent that day just exploring by himself, and you can hike Coco Head. It's just it used to be train
stairs,
like a train would go up and down.
Yeah,
I don't know what they would get from Coco Head, but yeah, you can hike all the way to the top. And you did that?
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It was one of the roughest 25 minutes of my life, dude.
It's a tough hike, but yeah, you climbed that.
But I lasted 25 minutes, so.
Damn, that's some stamina, dog. That's a good amount of time.
Good work, Sean.
That's decent time. Climb that. That's the only one that comes to mind now. If I'm thinking, actually, one more. Speaking of Hanauma Bay, Pele has another sister, not Kapo, and I think these two warriors were wanting to marry her. So naturally, she says, fight.
Fight it out.
Right? Yeah.
Figure it out.
Let's see. And whoever's a winner, I will marry. And they're fighting day and night, a whole week, and they can't kill each other. They're exhausted and they're cut up and they're bruised and battered, but nobody's winning. And I'm probably butchering the story, but eventually they just turn into like geckos.
Dang.
And they guard like her favorite place, her favorite beach, which was Hanauma. Maybe that's her. Maybe that's the sister, Hanauma. Like I said, I'm probably butchering this. But if you're at Hanauma Bay, you can see the actual bay itself. If you look at the sides, it looks like geckos, like the head of a lizard almost. But since none of them could get her, they sit there, you know.
Yeah.
As stone geckos just protecting her. I don't know. So that's all I can remember.
Yeah.
Any more?
Not off the top of my head, actually, but this Foxfire story, like of Appalachia, probably has some ones that I've heard before from like family out there, I bet. So I'm gonna read it and find out.
That's a sweet book.
We got more folklore to come.
Yeah. I got more. I need to study them up though, where I can like tell the details better, you know?
Sure.
As far as like Hmong stuff
Let's
goes.
do that. Dude, folklore stuff is equally fun.
Yeah.
It's tall tales.
Tall tales.
Do kids learn about tall tales growing up, like American tall tales? Like I remember growing up learning about what's the blue ox?
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan and his ox, right? What's his name? Babe? And Babe made the Great Lakes, right?
Yeah. Wait.
How?
Yeah.
That's like its hoof prints and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
How-
I don't remember.
But I remember learning about that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was like a subject in school. Like what subject was that?
I
Was
remember
it
learning
history?
like this from like a
History.
movie that came out, like a Disney movie called Tall Tales. And it had like Paul Bunyan, Babe, his blue ox. It had a Pecos Bill.
Whoa,
It
who's
had-
Pecos Bell?
He's like this cowboy in like Texas that
That
would
sounds-
lasso a tornado
It sounds
and ride
familiar.
tornadoes.
Fire. That's so fire, dude. Lasso tornadoes and ride them. And was that it?
No, there was also
Like
John
as his,
Henry.
as his story?
Oh, no, there's more to his story. I'd have to like go and find
Okay.
out like more about what it is. But
Was John Henry the
yep, he was a railroad worker.
and he battled like the locomotive or whatever to see who could like make the tunnel faster?
Yeah, that's actually the story, I think, dude.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple like coming in chat right now too. You got Johnny Appleseed planted an apple tree wherever he went, all the way across the United States. Yeah, we do have some like interesting folklore
true.
that I have definitely heard, just never think about nowadays.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, dude. I love that stuff. It's like nobody questions it.
Oh no, 100%.
like, yeah, dude.
He rode a tornado.
Homeboy,
That's right.
homeboy lassoed that thing.
That's how it works. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm always wanting to learn that, especially from other cultures, because it's just so unique to that culture.
Yeah.
And it's like not anything I could ever make up.
Yeah.
It's like I want to hear it first. So hearing the story about what did you share?
left
I
hand,
keep thinking
right
about
hand.
the left hand, right
Yeah.
hand. I was thinking about the porcupines. I can't get that one. The left hand, right hand, and the eagle and the drum is like so crazy. Like who saw that? Like who saw that happen?
Who thought
Where's
that
the
was
pics?
a solution?
Yeah.
Stay in this drum.
So wild. Anyway, I think that does it for tonight, and for part 2 or 4 of
That's
Hmong
true.
culture. You know,
Yeah.
from Tristan. Dude, it is a pleasure having you here. It's our pleasure, and feel so honored to hear your stories. And thank you so much for taking the time to prepare them, come onto the show, and share them with us. We're gonna have Tristan back again. You know, he ain't no stranger.
Nope.
Not at all. Not to 3 a.m. And not to our listeners, because our listeners love you, dude. So
I appreciate it.
thanks
I love them.
Good. As we my people say, Ohana. Right? And with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, we love y'all. We're going to record sometime this weekend for another bonus. But until then, trust your gut and watch your back.
Be careful out there.
And Tristan says, how do you say bye in Hmong?
Oh,
Or take care, or I love you?
you put me on the spot. I have a stage fright. Oh, hang on. Edit this part out until I figure it out.
I hit you with a Hmong phrase earlier.
I know. Hang on. Dude, I'm drawing a blank right now.
It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, we're going to have you back again.
I know.
We're chilling.
I'll see you guys later. I'll come back with a good saying. I totally hit a wall right there. Like, all the things are going through my mind.
He's just trying to explain himself
Gonna have to do it next time then.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, all good, dog.
It's the worst way to say bye, but love you all.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon, where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.